Have you ever felt like your real life hasn't started yet? You tell yourself this job is only temporary, this apartment is just for now, you'll launch the business next year, you'll finally become disciplined on Monday. Somehow, your future always feels exciting, while your present feels like a waiting room. Then one day you look around and realize months have become years, and the person you kept promising to become still hasn't arrived. Most people call this laziness. They'll tell you to work harder, wake up earlier, or stop procrastinating. But psychology suggests something much deeper. Sometimes what looks like laziness is actually a quiet fear of growing up. Carl Jung described this personality as the eternal child. It's not someone who refuses to age, it's someone who secretly resists becoming fully responsible for their own life. They crave freedom, possibilities, and endless potential, but they fear commitment because every commitment closes another door. So instead of choosing one path, they keep every option alive. The tragedy is that a life spent protecting possibilities eventually becomes a life that never truly begins. The first trap is living on potential. The eternal child falls in love with the person they might become instead of the person they're becoming today. They dream about writing a book, building a company, getting fit, or changing the world. The dreams are beautiful, but they stay locked inside the imagination because imagination never judges you. Reality does. Reality demands effort, patience, rejection, and failure. As long as the dream stays in your head, it stays perfect. The moment you act, it becomes vulnerable. So the mind quietly delays action, not because it lacks ambition, but because it's protecting the fantasy of being extraordinary. This pattern often begins in childhood. Maybe you were told you were gifted, smarter than everyone else, destined for great things. Those words felt encouraging, but they also planted a dangerous belief. You started measuring your worth by your potential instead of your persistence. Then adulthood arrived and nobody rewarded potential anymore. The world rewarded consistency. Suddenly being talented wasn't enough. Showing up every day mattered more. Instead of accepting that uncomfortable truth, many people protect their ego by convincing themselves they simply haven't started trying yet. The second trap is escaping into comfort. Every time life demands responsibility, distraction appears like an old friend. One more game, one more video, one more scroll through social media. Hours disappear, not because those things are enjoyable, but because they temporarily silence the uncomfortable voice asking, "Why aren't you moving forward?" Entertainment slowly becomes anesthesia. It numbs the anxiety without solving the cause. The screen turns off, but the same unfinished life is still waiting exactly where you left it. Then comes the third trap. Mistaking freedom for avoidance. The eternal child believes responsibility destroys freedom. A career feels like a prison. Marriage feels like losing independence. Daily routines feel like chains. But that's an illusion. Responsibility doesn't steal freedom, it creates it. Financial discipline creates choices. Healthy relationships create security. Daily habits create confidence. The very things the eternal child avoids are often the things that would finally give them the life they're searching for. Eventually another mindset quietly appears. Blaming reality. The economy becomes the reason. Your parents become the reason. Society becomes the reason. Your boss becomes the reason. Sometimes those obstacles are real, but when they become your permanent explanation, you unknowingly surrender your future to them. It's easier to believe the world is holding you back than to admit fear has been making your decisions. So how do you escape? Not through motivation. Motivation comes and goes. You escape by becoming the kind of person who keeps promises, especially the promises made to yourself. Start with the ordinary things you've been avoiding. Finish the task, clean the room. Wake up when you said you would. Keep your word even when nobody is watching. These actions seem small, but they're changing something much deeper than your routine. They're rebuilding trust between you and yourself. Then stop trying to avoid failure. Every successful person you admire once looked inexperienced, uncertain, and ordinary. They weren't born confident. They became confident by surviving embarrassment, rejection, and mistakes. Failure isn't proof that you're incapable. It's proof that you've finally stepped into reality. Every mistake teaches something your imagination never could. Carl Jung believed one of life's greatest tragedies isn't failing. It's spending your entire life protecting an imaginary version of yourself while the real version quietly waits to be discovered. Potential has no value until it becomes action. Dreams have no weight until they're carried through discipline. The life you've been waiting for isn't hiding somewhere in the future. It's being built by the choices you make today. So ask yourself one question. Are you protecting your future or are you protecting your fear? Because the day you stop waiting to become the person you imagined and start becoming the person your actions create is the day your real life finally begins. Which of these traps have you been living in the longest? Tell us in the comments. And if you're ready to stop living on potential and start building a life with purpose, subscribe to Teeh Psyche for more hidden psychology every week.